This is day one of the statewide quarantine. It makes it kind of creepy out here, so yeah. I don't have anything. Anyway, so, yeah, so, yes, so I'm going to make a zombie movie, apparently. Not really, but, but here we are. Well, yes, walking along down the pathway that you've seen in many of the Mousetrap Project movies. And I decided to document the Mousetrap movie here. I don't know if this is just talking pointless or it's a crossover or something, but yes. Here is the park. Yes. Because you don't want to just see random shit, right? Let's drop an S-bomb in the beginning of it. Like a Netflix thing or something. So, yes. So I went to the Starbucks and there was no, the tables were off. You couldn't sit at them. So, but they did allow for you to walk up to the counter and order something. An iced tea and a croissant. Yeah, so, and the park here is, the park from the Mousetrap, of course, is, as full as it usually is on the early morning, but now it's about 10, so it's actually fuller than it, not as full as it should be. But yeah, I did see a zombie. Wanted Gloria's, the ESL teacher lady's email. But she wasn't really a zombie. She was just one of those people wearing a mask. So I probably it's a plague. No, no, I don't. So yes, I'm going to go back into the house and not film anything about the outside in there, and we'll see what's more about the outside on day 2 instead. I'm not sure what this is. Probably just talking pointless. Yeah. So there's nothing. Day 2. There's some people waiting there. Yes. This is just a day 2 of my short documentation of the COVID peak. This is day 2, and yeah, it's pretty dead out here. No bodies lying around. Nothing that gross. No zombies. People that kind of look like that. So here we are. Oh, I spoke too soon. No, anyway, so yes, I thought, it's a portable thing. So yeah, you have zombies playing tennis. Zombies. You didn't get the memo. Zombies. Well, zombies. Walmart. I'm gonna go in there and see what kind of, oh wait, I have a hat on. It's a hat. See what kind of horrors I can find at the Walmart. So I'm going in there to find out what kind of horrors are in there. But I'm not filming in there. Nope. Ooh. Since here at Walmart, they're all out of hand sanitizer and bathroom tissue. But they have other stuff like in there. Yeah. So yeah, this is from the not far from one of the scenes from the Milpitas Monster. No. The dredging the bay scene. So, out there. Yeah. So yeah, and it kind of smells like they're dredging the bay right now. Near Doobie Island. Yeah. Anyway. today is day 3. And the zombies out. But yes, day 3, and the sun's come out. Spread the contagion. No. So yes, apparently the claim on the Fox News, which I don't know why, this is all kinds of cures, and that's like kicking up the economy, but only because Fox is claiming it, because they've been warmongering for the last 90 hours or so. The Dow Jones shot up only because, like, it's going like a yo-yo. It's going to keep going like a yo-yo for some time. Naturally, grocery prices grocery sales have increased as a result of them. Yeah, so, but that's because people were hoarding them. That'll drop down once they stop hoarding them, like toilet paper and stuff. Anyway, so, yes, so that's that from here so far. And there are people still in the tennis courts, like nothing happened. It's like in the Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, when they were in the mall and the zombies were like going shopping. Yeah, so familiar trail here from the Mousetrap Project movies and various sequels and the Teddy Ruxpin one. Yeah, so not much going on out here. This is still same day. Yeah, so I'm just reporting that I'm gonna put all this together. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, whenever they tell you in the, they're coming up with like all kinds of contingency plans or looking at things, and then and then they say a bunch of gobbledygook about how they're like lifting restrictions and stuff. You don't want that to happen, because then you'll end up getting medication that doesn't work or that kills you. So you don't want that either. So yeah, that would be bad. Yeah. So yeah. So if they're lifting restrictions, that isn't good. One thing they're not going to run out of from the hoarders: beer. They're delivering beer to the Lucky Store. I don't care about beer at all. Not interested. Not much of a day for. But yeah, everyone seems to be indoors out here because of the COVID. Yeah, so I was in the house making the Transformer films, because what else am I gonna do? And here I am walking down the walking commission here to deliver the mails. That's the garbage truck. So the garbage truck. This lady was walking down the road over here, walking as slow as possible, slower than this. I'm telling you, she's got to go by the 29th. And then she's saying she's trying to walk as fast as she can to get to the vet about her dying animal, I assume a dog, but she was strolling like this. I gotta walk there as fast as I can or I'll die. Not even moving, just strolling along. So there you go. Yep. Yeppers. Make no sense, that lassie. Maybe she is from the Midwest somewhere in Iowa. I don't know. That's pretty funny. So I shaved because we don't want too much hair, you see. So I shaved. It's not a continuity error. Day 5. I am going to go and investigate the Target store. Just because I'm thinking of the Target store. It's probably going to be closed, if not lucky. Yes, and I'm not going to film in there because they probably won't let me. So, yeah, it's raining. So, day 5, I will show you the park in the rain. Because if it was filmed like one of those Cloverfield movies, it'd be like, Cloverfield, 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 because I can't hold the camera steady. Ah! That's a Cloverfield gag for you there. Okay. Wait, come on. Doesn't actually look, well, it looks a little vacant, yeah. It's a Target parking lot. Here we have, the other part of the mall is closed. Yeah, there's some birds over there. Now, this is the part in the zombie movie. It looks all peaceful and quiet, and then something jumps out, and a jump scare. It's like, ah, but it's just a jump scare. It's like, yeah. So it's just like a stupid jump scare. Like there's a dog or something rummaging in the trash, or a raccoon, even better. It's like, it's like, oh, it's a raccoon. It's Sunday. Yeah. Let's see. Technically day 8. Let's see, yeah. So, last Sunday the church was closed. This Sunday the church will also be closed. You can find all your stuff online. I haven't looked at the online stuff. Because, yeah, it's not that bright back there. This is the day 8 of the... There was a guy and his kid walking by, so can't film any children. This is not for children. So, yeah. So, anyway, that's part of the Copra Act. Yeah. There were just a bunch of cars, and now there aren't. Now, going back this way. Here. And there's just a bunch of cars. Now there aren't. Nothing unusual, though, about that. Usually within the... Yeah. A lot less traffic out here. So yeah, that's day 8. Cause yeah, we don't want to go out there too much. Just going to Lucky to get some fish. Yeah, how's that? So going in now. So there was a talk of the tabloids though at the counter, but that I brought up, so it doesn't matter. One of the tabloids are being mean to the princess, Meghan Markle. So I was like, why can't they go back to the 90s when X-Files was on, so they'd have like weird tabloids about lady gives birth to alien with a doll with light up eyes, like just sitting in her like cradling it. So March 24th. Jump scare. Ah. Mark's cards informed me that ancient alien space bunnies should be present. I doubt it, but that would be cool. Space bunnies. Space bunnies gonna go rampant while no one's around. Except for that lady way over there with a baby carriage. Man, in the distance. Way the fuck over there. Yeah, dropped an F-bomb. Excellent. My hair's all fuzzy. Futurama hair up there. Yeah. Anyways. Uh-oh. Someone's running that way. And there's an alarm going off. Oh no. Actually, I don't think anybody in Milpitas actually has COVID-19. But everybody's freaking out. Yeah, so anyway. There's probably originally intended as a conservative plot to make the liberals look bad, so that they bungled it in order to blame the liberals, but it got out of hand. It was just supposed to be a gag or a prank by the Republicans. Didn't work, and now it's all over New York, more so than it is in China. Now they should rename it the New York virus. Yeah. But here in California, I don't know, hundreds, well, I don't know, have, yeah, so I guess the sanctuary city is doing it right. Sanctuary city. So, yeah, I haven't heard anything from San Francisco. So, anyway. It's pretty vacant out here. There's that lady with the baby carriage. Yes, I will attempt to elaborate on my, as I'm walking here toward Lucky only, that what I was getting at was there already was a virus. They didn't cause it. What the conservatives did was they were politicizing it to blame someone else for the CDC's ineptitude originally. Yeah, they're going to blame somebody else, even though they're the ones that closed part of the CDC and defunded it in the beginning of the Trump administration. Fortunately, the states ignored him and didn't defund it, just kind of funded the money somewhere else. So, yeah, mainly in other states other than where they are. So, although his approval ratings have gone up for no reason other than him meandering around. Although the irony is that he's probably getting the same rally numbers as he normally got before, but now the actors just aren't there that are standing in behind him. So yeah, so that's what's going on. So it isn't that so it's that he's just yeah, they're all politicizing it, both sides. The other side is politicizing the other part of it. So like, yeah, it's still Monday. I thought I would film this wreckage of these trees over here. So yeah, it's the wreckage of the trees, and there's some more wreckage. Apparently they've been trimming them. So they've roped off the exercise stuff because they don't want anybody on it. I don't care if you're roped off that part over there a bit too. So I'm gaining copious amounts of pounds from not getting enough exercise. I've decided that today, on Monday, that I go for a walk again, because otherwise I'm going to gain 5 or 6 pounds just being indoors. And that would be hideous after a while. I cannot do that. But anyway, the gist of the annoying faux news stuff today, or what little bit of it I saw. And yeah, so they were seeing partisan bickering and stuff, but technically it's over a stimulus package which would not help the underemployed or poor. It only still helps the rich and the upper middle class. That's not going to work. That's why they're bickering about it, because it does not help the poor. If you want to actually, well, they're not going to, but if they want to actually truly poor and the under middle class, they need to give them more than the middle class. Say, okay, we're not just going to give them $1,000, we're going to give the poor $2,000. But they won't do that, because that would actually make sense economically, but they're not going to do that. Nor will they actually get the $1,000. They won't get it. No, only the super rich will get it. So there you go. If you believe. Tuesday. It's Tuesday, and there's workmen in the park. Probably because the quarantine. Yeah, they're making them work for some reason. So you see, yes, I think the initial plan by the evil money grubbers in the government was to use this as an excuse to close the borders, become more insulated, and close off the American people and desensitize them. So it was an excuse, not just by both sides. Well, mainly the GOP, mainly Fox, to close off everything so that we didn't notice like crazy stuff happening. The stock market fluctuating ridiculously, up and down and up and down, and that's because they artificially inflated it still. I bet the stock and other supplies is probably really bad. So yeah, that's what they're up to. They need to, well, it's just that they, don't go out to spring break and party. Don't do that, because spread it. But also, oh man. They're clearly closing it off because they want, I noticed that they clearly, and it doesn't seem like anybody in the White House actually has it. It's odd. I think maybe one or two people have it. And I noticed that they keep the Ancient Aliens people employed at History Channel and force them to work because and also at Fox and CNN. At least NBC is actually doing Skyping more than Fox is. They're in the studio. It's weird. They're being irresponsible having them all in the studio, where they could totally be spreading it everywhere. New York has more cases than so it's a good thing we're not in New York. In the Big Apple, they say, yeah. But that kind of makes sense, it's like, because in the Big Apple, you don't really get in a car too much. You bike around or you walk everywhere. Or you get on the bus or on a car, on a subway, and usually that's like packed in like sardines. If they can figure out in a capitalist society a way to exploit some lockdown, they will figure out a way to exploit it. But it's not cool, so don't do that. There's a produce truck that's come down the wrong tube over there, and he's stuck on Clear Lake's ridiculous paranoid NIMBY crossover thing from the late 90s. They built the paranoid NIMBY thing, NIMBYs are not in my backyard, because the people on the edge of that curve over there didn't like teenagers cruising down the street really fast on their skateboards. That's the only reason they put that there. That street blocked off. There's a license plate. That's the only reason that the neighborhood complained. It does not need to be blocked off. There's no physical boundary reason that road should be blocked off. They just did it because paranoid locals that probably don't live there. You probably don't live there anymore. Now we got the necessity stores open here on Tuesday. But over there, the Togos and all that stuff, and that's not open because small businesses can't be open and be serving restaurants and stuff. Yeah, so it's like that's the people that are hurting the most because they aren't getting any money. They ain't serving anybody. Yeah, so the small businesses, and of course the very poor that can't get to those places either, the kitchens and stuff, they also would be extremely in need of government assistance, which the GOP doesn't like because they don't want to give people government assistance. They want to even cut Social Security down because they're jerks over there in the House and the Senate. So they want to get all that, and so this gives them an excuse to do mean things. So, we are on the enormous park set of the, it's not a set really, but it's the enormous area where we filmed it, where we do all of the movies and parks and stuff. It's kind of cold out here, and it's really nippy. It's cold out here. Anyway, so yeah, well, I will talk about it more indoors when it's not as cold, but out here it is chilly. I'm not sure of the point of walking out here to the mail would actually be. But so they've been working in the park here. There's parks all around here. It's called Park Town. They have those parks and they go all the way around, and a lot of them were used in the Mousetrap Project movie, 1999. Okay, so I will close this walk down Park Lane here just because it's kind of hard to do both, you know. Yeah, a guy ran by with that shirt on. He must have good metabolism. Yeah. Anyway, so. Well, he had a shirt on, but he didn't have a jacket on. Like a muscle shirt. Anyway, so so that's it. Yeah, for now. And I'll have to find this piece of the tape and review it for the, because it's still Tuesday, it's technically. So yeah, Day 3. Day 8. Day what? The 8. Wednesday? To 20. Yeah, Wednesday. 20. And walking down the road. Nothing new except some people have died as the result of Trump saying, "Oh, take the malaria medicine," because people are stupid. Listen to him. They shouldn't have. They shouldn't listen to him. Probably a Trump supporter. Unfortunately, that goes with the Darwin Awards right there. It's like, yeah, don't listen to that guy. He's just making up shit. So anyway, I was walking along. Same kind of people, anti-vaxxers. So she got a hold of something, apparently died. It's fucked up. So yeah. I don't know whether there were other cases, but there was the one person. They did not report on folks. Also, apparently he doesn't know what he's talking about. You can't use that. It would be like just taking random shit to like cure something. It doesn't work that way. Anyway, so I'm walking along. Also, think about the stores and the shops all over work. Stuff that people and their products can't be moved. All the shipping stuff that isn't being done. All the insular. They knew about the virus outbreak way back in January and ignored it for several months. So yeah. Now it's all over New York, apparently. It's over here. Let's see. We have some proof in the Thursday. Had a strange dream last night. It was real peculiar. And in my strange dream, it was a future. It was a future after which point, like, the disaster of spring break 2020, when they let everyone out of the quarantine early, caused them to have to do drastic measures in order to in order to curb the virus. So they started making shit up in the government, and apparently, well, they're already making shit up now, but it was like increasingly paranoid and worse because like that wasn't on nothing, and like strangely enough, and oddly enough, they started using malathion spray from back in the 90s because they thought there were bugs, like literally bugs, and it's not that kind of bugs, but Trump administration are idiots, and so they were like, okay, we'll just have to spray the malathion everywhere on the people, the spring break, and then it'll be survival of the fittest, like I said earlier, and it'll be like, okay, but that would actually, then they get a bunch of other chemicals, and they get rid of, which is ridiculous because it's Dream. They get all our stuff out. Apparently the old guy in Dream, he had a wife and kid that died after the plague, so he got married after the plague. Somebody that was still like normal, moderately so, but they died, and he was stuck recalling that that they had an Easter pageant thing that they started up again, that it infected everybody, kind of like an Armageddon, kind of like a not like an apocalypse, but Armageddon, the Valley of Gidon from the Bible, a Revelation. So in the Revelation, yeah, so it's more like that. And they had the plague, but it infected everybody. But he was one of the people that like wasn't. So he survived and lived to be old. And his friend, this could be pseudo Mark Spencer, it could be John. He lives to be, we all live to be old, but we're in a world where everybody is reduced to the mental level and capacity of Donald Trump and lower. And everybody's walking around going, because they're all retarded. The entire planet becomes like mentally deficient. And yeah, mentally special. And after the planet becomes completely special, it's nuts. Allowing, of course, people like Cat and Cards, who had the original bug spray years ago in Milpius, they're kind of immune because they already had it. So they're just walking around and they're all like, okay, yeah, this would be the ultimate like weird. It's not really a revenge fantasy because it's not revenge. It's sort of they get what they want fantasy, because they do get what they want. They get the entire planet in the story, except then technology stops, and the economy stops, and everything else stops, because they don't know how to run anything. And even though the people that are left over, if the very old die, and then the very old all die, and then the very young all die. It's bizarre. And then that's a strange dream. And yeah, because the ones that were indoors, they were saved as well because they were indoors. Yeah, so it's not a nuclear holocaust like in those 80s movies. It's more like eugenics. Yeah, untested eugenics cures sprayed out on the people. Here's the church. It's not open. Yeah, so the message of said dream is for the people is don't go outside even if Trump tells you to. Stay indoors until the plague is over. Yeah, because that's a good idea. Yeah. Oh, you can make little sojourns out here though, I guess. But yeah, don't go to the beach and party. So that's the message of the dream. Because you'll end up like becoming dumb. It's a Holocaust. The Holocaust. And then yeah. And I doubt that that's their actual plan, because that would be really strange. It'd be like an 80s villain, like it'd be like kind of strange. That dream, I think about it, because like if they did that, I think people would stop them before they got too bad, before millions. Well, that would be you would think that deregulation wouldn't do. Yeah, they wouldn't be that stupid, maybe. But yeah, don't do ridiculous, dumb things, and do things like that. Yeah, so that's the message: is don't do dumb things, and then you'll survive. It's like earlier on when I said about not really. It's sort of the pseudo Darwin, because it's not really Darwin. It's not really survival of the fittest. It's really just it's not really that. The dream was more like about a warning. It was a prophecy. Yeah, it's like because the most as ancient wise men that said disasters can come with more from within than without. The Roman Empire was destroyed by from within by lead and other things they were consuming, and yeah. So yeah, this isn't the Roman Empire though. At this point, Putin has won and has made America dumb again. But we can get smarter again. We can elect someone else to be the president. That might be a good idea. So go out and vote. Don't be like in the dream and have the old guys run around. Didn't do anything. Don't do that. So yeah. And this will probably get flagged off YouTube because, ooh, it's talking about COVID-19. Oh, sort of, kind of. Anyway, so yeah. Day 10, I guess. I don't know. Friday. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the Safeway parking lot. It's day 10. I think day 10 or 11. Yeah, that's or 12. No, it's week 2. End of week 2. So we have the CDC government people stepping in and saying that don't listen to Trump saying, well, it's just going to end right now because I need to get reelected in 6 months. So, just going to stop the virus. Oh. And they're like, no, don't do that. Meanwhile, New York is the hardest hit, and there's more coronavirus people in New York than in China right now. Anyway, so yeah, but this is California. That's pretty much it out here. There are people out here, but they are probably the neocons. So I was in Safeway earlier today, and I had more fur on. People assumed I was some homeless crazy vagabond, and we're all vagrant, and we're all like being rude. Half the place is all being rude. Even the fish delivery guy, being rude. The fish butcher. Well, the butcher, you expect him to be rude, but yeah, the fish guy, the fish butcher. So yeah, it's a Safeway. Normally the Safeway isn't the Safeway. It's not the Safeway at all. With all ammunition, and there was a 6 feet line and all that stuff. Yeah, with rude people going in and out, and no direction. There was nobody directing traffic. Was the problem. Also, there was no toilet paper again, but we have some before, so yeah, it's odd. So yeah, it's weird. Anyway, so yeah, and this is later in the day on Friday, same day. Yeah, so. Okay, it is Saturday. It is. I have shaved again, and this is the end of the vlog for the week of the stay indoors order thing for the week. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go in the car because it's raining. Yeah, so I am in the car, and yeah, so that closes out that. I wonder if the 2 weeks here have been. I wonder if the greenhouse gas emissions have gone down in the country. But the people with the virus continues to rise, And Trump continues to selfishly think that he's going to lose the election and it's all the liberals' fault that there's a virus. That's what he said. So we'll go by what he said. So yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, as you can see, the park is technically closed. It is technically closed. So yes, it is the 29th. It's Sunday. Of course, there's no services. And there shouldn't be any martial arts schools either. Apparently, yeah. As you can see, the park is technically closed. It is technically closed. So yes, it is the 29th. It's Sunday. Of course, there's no services. And there shouldn't be any martial arts schools either. Apparently, the old martial arts school has reduced hours. That's kind of crazy. They shouldn't do that. It should be closed and locked in because, yeah, they could get sick. They could get the plague. It's not like the G energy. I was informed this by some Xers from school that I used to train at that apparently, yeah, they decided to have reduced hours. So I looked it up and I was like, oh, they shouldn't do that. They're not well. Don't do that. Yeah. So anyway, they should be closed because yeah, I don't think martial arts school is an essential product of whatever. I mean, it's not like food and stuff. Anyway, so they might think it is. Yeah. That's not good. Don't do that. Yeah. So, I'm going back in. There are a few people wandering around the park out here. But yeah, that's bizarre. Why would they do that? They're actually going to contaminate their own people. And the Grandmaster, which is getting kind of old, so you probably shouldn't let that happen to her. Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't matter much, but they shouldn't. Martial arts schools should not be opened during the virus. They're going to contaminate it, and anybody that might be under the weather is going to get it. Anyway, so yeah, don't do that. So the sun's come out. It's still Sunday. So I'm walking down this trail and glorious. Over in the distance are two panel vans designed to capture. I don't know, but I don't know what they're doing over there. But yeah. Anyway, so it's still Sunday. Title of the mid-season finale of Cillian's Facebook is Isolation Parts 1 and 2. Obviously. So that's it. Not that it hasn't, and it's got dark again. Cloudy. Yes. Tuesday. Or Monday. Monday, the 30th. Monday. Monday. Spa. Nothing going on now. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. There's not much today. Not really much of anything. So there's no written blog of this because why? Anyway, so yeah. Now look all over a child, y'all know. It's the evening on Monday. It's like Barack Obama on a Monday. So are people wandering over there. Yes, it is in the evening. Monday, there was a crow out on the road on the manhole cover. And Disney didn't flag it. Yeah. Anyway, so, gonna be some Trans-Tech filming. Gonna be some Starship filming. Well, Starship in that we're gonna finally do it. We're gonna give you a Starship camera at some point on this Camera channel. Ship guide to the ships of Camera. Also, Build Your Adventure. WhatCulture.com is going to do it, so Starship Locations is going to be from the house. We'll do that. So yeah. So anyway, so over here, and yeah. So probably can't actually see me, so it's down that road. It's one of the Xers. Junction 1 Xers. Or it used to be. Their houses are up for sale. So they're no longer there. So I just thought I'd tell you that. They're gone. Literally, they moved. So the Xers down there. So, yes, it is Tuesday. And, yeah, I'm going to go into Target. Yeah, and then come back. There's nothing to report on Tuesday. Anyway, so that's it. Now someone's driving by and wondering what I'm doing. So I'm going to turn this off. Wednesday, April 1st. Yes, and that's not an April Fool's or anything. It's Wednesday, April 1st. Actually, I despise April Fool's Day. It's annoying. But there's nothing out here. I'm just doing it. They stopped playing tennis. It's a little windy, isn't it? Anyway. It is Saturday. It is the end of the blog for the week. We left out Friday and Thursday, but I think I already kind of went over them. So you don't need to go to the Transformer thing and see the thing on. The only thing that really happened this week was, I'll tell you about that, was the Tim Cantrell from the original cast of On Location and On Location 2. I've known him since like junior high, I think. Yeah, him. Yeah, I think all just junior high. Yeah. So he's diabetic, and he had a infected foot from a work injury, and he had to have part of it amputated. So he's in a recovery place somewhere, not a hospice, a recovery place. John, he found out about it the moment it happened, because I emailed him right after I was talking to him on Thursday. John, Tim called immediately, and we talked about Transformers and other stuff. His kid is 3 years old now. Yeah, it's bizarre. He has a kid. It wouldn't be that unusual that if we were all younger, but we're all approaching 50. So it's a little late. Well, he has been married for 20 years, 21 years, 21 years. And so yeah, none of the other cast though. Jim Buffkin never got married. I didn't get married. John didn't get married, unless you count Disneyland. Oh my. Yes, we'll have our 50th anniversary. Well, maybe we'll have this. I don't know if the COVID's closed. No, we're not married. But the Disney anniversary. Yeah, so that would be in November if there's no COVID. Yeah, so a fall trip to Disneyland probably will not be this spring because it won't be open. And this virus thing persists in town. We won't have. It's not likely we'll have the convention because there won't be one. I was looking the other way. Yeah. This was in storage. This is actually from a box we found in the garage. It's one of those masks. Yeah. There's hardly any left though. And one of the masks from the garage, from the mom's mastectomy surgery like last year, or 2 years, a year and a half ago. So we have like 5 of them. But yeah, they're not for sale. But yeah, And Dan found some over there in Gilroy, what was used for the Petaluma fire. Some of the 3M ones. He ain't giving us any of them. He was in the Petaluma, Gilroy, the Petaluma masks from the fire. They weren't firefighters. They just were there when it happened. Came up here. So yeah, thereabouts. The story is. Oh yeah, the politics. Trump and a bunch of his people are backtracking, saying he didn't compare it to the flu season. Oh, he totally did. So it's just like the flu, it's gonna go away. He said that. Hey, he said it. Can't say it's the mainstream media that said it, because he said it. Thought it was the flu. I can see his confusion if he's kind of inept, because like they were gonna do a drill apparently in January about like a virus, but he's got it confused because he heard about the drill. Isn't a drill. It actually happened anyway. Probably because they were dumb enough to let out a virus somewhere in the world from something. That would not be a drill. It was not a drill. So he was confused, but he wasn't listening to his aides, so there you go. Yeah, so vote him out of office, please. And Biden was briefly in trouble for something that happened 30 years ago, but that didn't stick because Trump did stuff like that 30 years ago. So he's like, well, I can't complain about that because I did it too. Bad stuff. Yeah, not me, but I'm saying he did. I didn't do anything like that. Yeah, there was some bad gossip about them too. Yeah, so that didn't stick. The person that told the story was a friend of the Russians, and she was so it was one of those cases where probably she was making it up. Usually they're not making it up, but in her case, she might have been making it up. She might have been lying. Curiously, at the last moment, discredit, just because they can't think of anything else to do. Didn't stick. Anyway, so there you go. He probably was the sleaze though, and they're kind of both similar people. Biden and Trump probably did do something sleazy, but to come around during the political thing is kind of suspicious. He can get in trouble later. Yeah, he can get in trouble for that later, for being a sleaze. Yeah, well, I don't do that kind of thing, but both him and Trump do. So there you go. So this has been your Talking Pointless update for the third week of the coronavirus thing. There's no written version of this. Just count the silly track version, which is played as a spoof. So it's basically the version of it that was going to be the drill as a parody, not the actual virus. And it has zombies in it. Thought to mention the last minute here that as I walk over this way that the governor of Florida is an idiot, and he thought that apparently there was nothing to worry about and was letting his people do spring break and stuff. Like, that's what he actually said. Half the states aren't obeying the stay-in rule. And this has been Talking Pointless for the week. Check this out. Somebody tried to break in a dumpster. Damn.
Wow. Somebody broke a window.
Yeah.
Dang.
It rained last night. It's Sunday, week 4, beginning Sunday, yeah. So, apparently, around April 1st, that was last week, a bunch of news outlets started airing what amounts to a panic scare concerning everyone running out of everything and stricter guidelines. This April Fool's joke spread all over the place and was reported on regular news media stations. Somebody was pranking them, but apparently, because Kushner found out about it and of a number of other people, they put it on TV like it was real. And now old people are panicking about like they're running out of everything because they're gonna run out of everything because they say so. Oh. And it's like it was some sick April Fool's joke. Of course there's still a virus, but apparently some sick April Fool's joke. Right? Okay, so that's messed up. Another reason not to like that holiday, that particular day. There you go. So, I'll go to the store and see whether it can be stockpiled or it's not gonna be. They're not gonna like stop putting like fruit out and frozen stuff. It's ridiculous.
Sit, Dylan, you're right.
it's the 7th, it's 6th, the 6th. It's raining. So yeah, it's raining. Yeah, that's unexciting. Tuesday, April 7th. Tuesday. I don't think Mark's Cards has a YouTube channel, but he has just finished binge watching all of the Star Trek Picard. Yeah, last night he finished binge watching it, and he really liked the Riker episode. Well, that's the one I wrote, so of course he liked that one. They might say the other people wrote it, but nah, it's a Kal Kat story. It totally was. Kind of the finale was kind of too. A lot of elements of Chimera there. Yeah. Oh goodness. Anyway, so there we go. This is not The Stand, or the Walking Dead, obviously. Although there was kind of a Walking Dead cat's dream. Different cats from the eras came back fully as cats and were all over the backyard. They had the CoVid. It suddenly reanimated all of them with their bones and skeletons and all their meat and flesh, and it all came back on, and they were around alive. It was the cat end times. Now there's an interesting sequel to Cats they could do. Cat end times. Okay. It's Wednesday the 8th. Nothing's going on. Nothing to report. Just doing Transformers. Just it's Wednesday the 8th. Well, that's it. So, I'm out by the Noah's Bagels. And, yes, bagels. And actually, it's a croissant and tea. You have to make the tea yourself. Yeah, so that was weird. Be my own barista. I'm not very good at it. Anyway, so it's what was it, Thursday? I think it's Thursday. Yeah, nothing much else to report. I must go get a bag of cat food, but I'm clearly selfieing myself. So it's probably okay. And there's a bagel. I'm gonna eat the bagel. Well, it's not a bagel. It's a croissant cookie. Anyway, that's it. Okay. Late Thursday. Late Thursday. Okay, I look more official with this here mask on. Yeah, like some kind of crazy Dr. Giggles character or something. But yes, I'm not a doctor. I'm just wearing a mask. And apparently neither is Trump. Yeah, so this whole plugging this malaria drug, dude, the hydroxychloroquine, they started doing that before the virus started. So they're plugging this weird like stuff. It's like a Coumadin variety. It's like for there's a kid in it. So it's not made for viruses. It's not made to kill viruses. It's made to kill malaria, and it's made to kill lupus. It's not made for that, and it's bad for old people and bad for children. So it's really bad, and it's bad for hearts and eyes and kidneys and all other things. But they're plugging it because they have stock in it. Kushner has stock in it. Dr. Oz has stock in it. They all have stock in it. Okay, Dr. Oz is not a real doctor. He's a TV doctor. He's a fake doctor. Go on television, and you're a television personality. You're no longer that person. Like Judge Janine is no longer a judge. So, so they're touting this thing because they like it, because they like the idea of having it. Whereas it doesn't do anything. It's not going to help anybody. It would only make older people die. Great. What a good idea. Instead of that, don't the hydrochloroquine. It's not going to do anything. Just because it's called Plagerin, the name, the generic name over the counter is Plagerin. It's like an immune suppressant. It's an immune suppressant, which means it destroys the immune system's ability to fight certain infections. Immune suppressant. And also, it's bad for you. It's got all kinds of side effects. So, it's not going to help with the virus. No, the trick to the virus is because it's a coronavirus, right? So it's like SARS, but more intense. It's like N1H1, but more intense. It's like bird flu and cow flu. It's similar in the same family. So to go out after a drug that is equivalent to giving Coumadin to somebody who's not a cancer patient. You don't do that. We'll just give them like euthanasia. It doesn't work. What you do is you give them something that will fight SARS, which makes sense. Yeah. So make some stuff that fights SARS. Then there's no more COVID-19. Goes by way of COVID-3. Yeah. Or something like that. Or COVID-12. COVID-13. At least you can read that up on the internet. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, so just know that. But that other thing is bad. Yeah, don't do that. So, it is Friday. And we discussed, and marked cards. I discussed marked cards. Discussed the bizarre peddling of this of coronavirus medication that doesn't work at all. It has not been tested, but Trump has stock in it, and so does his family. So does his friends. So they want to tout a malaria drug, which is an anti-immune suppressant and doesn't work with a virus that supplements the immune system. It wouldn't, actually. Not to mention that all the horrible side effects that it has. You know, it's been on the market since the 50s. And we don't recommend anyone take it. Not a doctor, though, so don't listen to that. Haha. But don't take it. No, it was like a sleazy peddler who's like, oh, you should just take it. It'll work. So it's a magic bullet that doesn't work. Magic bullets usually don't. Now, the other thing was the hoarding of eggs and milk apparently was going on. Eggs and milk spoil. Why would people hoard that? It's just gonna spoil. Yeah, so don't do that. That's stupid. Just don't. And then apparently on the Fox this morning, they spent over an hour saying they were going to go to a task force meeting. They still haven't. And they're just waiting for a task force meeting. They obviously have no news. So they're like, we're just going to sit here in a press room and film a wall with some guy walking around. It's literally what they're doing right now. It's like ridiculous. It's 11 o'clock. It's like, what? Yeah, it's kind of windy out here too. Anyway, so that's all my rant for the morning, I guess. On Talking Pointless for Friday at the in the CoVid thing. Somebody's coming. It is April 11th of the containment. And I combed my hair, which is getting all long on the sides. What a crappy comb that I found. Well, in the drawer, not on the ground. Oh, that'd be gross. No, it was in a drawer. So yes. There begins the clinical trials of the alleged vaccine. Well, allegedly, but it's not the mosquito stuff they're peddling. It's not that. Yeah, don't take that. In fact, they oxychlorophlorecarbon was mentioned on chlorophene. Plagiaris was mentioned on. It's called plagiaris. It's like, why would you want to take anything that's called that? Anyway, but you don't want to take that because it's not designed to do anything to a virus. It's for the parasitic infection caused by malaria. It's a bug, like insects. It's a completely different animal. It's literally an animal that it fights off by attacking the immune system. The SciShow did a report on it, and although they're not working scientists, they are scientists, no scientists, Yeah, they explored that. It wouldn't work. They're all, how would it work? I mean, it's an immune suppressant. It's like a Coumadin kind of thing. How would that work? So actually, yeah. So no, it wouldn't work for that. You want the antibodies to fight off the virus. You want the virus to be, because the virus is not a living. It's an RNA packet. So you want to fight that virus with something that fights an antiviral of some kind, and it's not an antiviral. It's what Trump and his toadies have stock in, so they mentioned it first. It's all over the net, but it does not do anything. Actually, it's very bad for heart patients and very bad for eye patients and anybody with eyesight problems. It's very bad for kidneys and liver and all sorts of lovely things that if you had malaria, you would take it because malaria. But no, you don't want to take that stuff. No. That's just because they say so. Ooh, take it all. But wait for the actual real stuff to come out. Yeah. And then it'll be like, oh, the real stuff comes out, you can take that. Probably within a year. They have to clinical trial. They can't just say, oh, take some random shit off your medicine cabinet. Like, what? No, don't do that. Oh. Kind of vaguely goes with that weird dream that I had about government spraying everyone with malathion so that they gradually went crazier and crazier and dumber until it was like The Stand by Stephen King. Everybody was an idiot. Actually, this is very remarkably similar to The Stand. The Stone Gremlins guy did an entire hour and 20-minute video on The Stand, which was a classic late 80s, early 90s miniseries. Early 90s, I think. It had half the Brack Pack in it. Half of the directors that went on to become famous cameoed in it. So yeah, including Sam Raimi and Clive Barker were in it. It's weird. But yeah. So it's not exactly like The Stand. So if everyone stays sheltered indoors, eventually it'll wait out the virus's length of time period that it exists. Although some people are catching it again, but that's because some places didn't wait it out and they went and reinfected them. So yeah, don't do that. And I'm not a physician, I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying what I read, what I saw on the TV. Not a doctor. But yeah. So that's that then. Okay, and I'm walking along here. And now passing people without masks on. Oh no. So, there's nothing other worldly in the news about oh yeah, they're claiming another thing. Fox is so full of shit. Fox News is claiming it's stabilizing. It's the word they keep using over and over again. And CNN called them on some of their bullshit. And now they're claiming that CNN kicked them out somehow. So CNN couldn't report. That's exactly the opposite of what happened. Some of the CNN reporters were going to the meetings and they kept saying, quit saying bullshit, and then like going on about other stuff afterward. And they kicked CNN out of the press meeting. It wasn't the other way around. They kicked CNN out. They said, you can't come into our press meetings anymore. They'll probably say that about NBC and CBS and all those others as well, and Comcast and everyone else. So the Trump administration kicked CNN out. A number of anybody that doesn't agree with Trump, kicked out of the meeting. Then you just have your propaganda station. It's not good because Trump even said in one of those meetings early on, I listen to only Fox News. It's a great station, Fox News. It's like, really? Okay, you get all your medical information from Fox pundits of your own propaganda station. How does that work? You get your news from your propaganda station that you put out. That your friends put out, I should say. The Murdochs, yeah, they're related to the Bushes. They're not your friends, but they'll put out what they like. But that's just weird. It's the friend of the friend is. That's kind of the enemy. The friend of your enemy is your friend. Because it's kind of Muslim. I'm just saying. Radical, kind of weird sounded. But yeah, So he likes the propaganda station because they'll tout his pharmaceutical stuff on the internet that doesn't work. And no, the anti-vaxxer thing is stupid too. It's just that yeah, that's dumb too. You should not do that. Saying that if the vaccine doesn't work, unlike Trump going, oh, just take it, just take this thing that I thought up out of the blue that has no scientific basis and we've done no testing at all on. Take that, because I said so. No, fuck you, dude. I ain't taking that shit. Also, because heart and eye stuff. Couldn't anyway. So, there you go. Yeah, I can't take it. So, there you go. So you better give me something else then. Yeah, I can't afford to lose any eyesight. Yeah, can't afford to lose other stuff either. Got that heart thing. Anyway, so yeah, an eye thing. Yeah. Technically, Mumsy can't take it either. Yeah. But yeah, so there you go. Can't do that stuff. Yep. That would actually be bad. It's just, apparently also diabetics can't take it, but I'm not that. So it's just a bad drug. It should be taken off the market. I don't care if it's been around since the 50s. Oxychloroquine should be taken off and just find something else to cure malaria with. But yeah, it's not malaria, it's not bugs, it's not mosquitoes. It was a viral born pathogen passed by eating bad pig meat in China somewhere. That the bats had bitten. The bats bit the pigs had the bad. So it's kind of like the swine flu. It's kind of like SARS. So if anything, hopefully the CDC is looking into a SARS type version of the vaccine, because it is a SARS coronavirus. It literally is what it is. It's just not SARS-03, it's SARS-19. CoVid-19, coronavirus 19. Like, hey, guys can look that up. It's not that hard. I'm not even a millennial. I bet they know more than I do about that. I'm an X generation person. But yeah, they're being stupid. Anyway, this is the third week. And yeah, as long as we stay in, we don't catch anything. And it's kind of gloomy out here. Sunday, April 12th. Sunday, April 12th. Look, I'm a space creature on the planet Mars. Or something. Anyway, I'm going to the store. Anyway, so I got nothing to report. It's just Sunday. It's Easter Sunday. Yes. Transstack coming soon. Anyway, so yeah. Here is it is a Monday. It is Monday. The sun's come out, but it's cloudy, partly cloudy. And Erosion of War Part 4 is going up today. 4. Ooh. The latest news on Fox to keep everyone like pissed off. That's an Uber Catholic. Apparently is a lie story printed by an Uber right-wing website on Facebook about Nancy Pelosi and Biden, saying they put in the coronavirus bill abortions for late abortions. It's completely bullshit. It obviously would be bullshit, but the buzzword there is abortion. They completely made that shit up. And they just ran with it because Fox loves talking about other things to distract people, including that. They love that. Abortion. Oh. Okay, yeah. First of all, late term, that's illegal. It's already illegal. They're not going to put that in a random bill for relief of like medical relief. Why would they put that in there? So they didn't do that. They're lying. And I would actually know because I looked it up. Anyway, yeah, fact checked. and everything from 3 different sites that were actually legitimate. But yeah, it's like, come on, guys. Are we gonna go on about that shit again? Like the last election where they kept bringing up like that fake disease Center for Medical Progress, which like claimed they were like selling baby parts, and then it turns out they were actually arrested for fraud and for trying to solicit baby parts. Kind of ironic, down in Texas and California. So if it was those guys, and it probably was, they've been to jail for fraud and lying. I think they probably are lying again. But Fox loves that kind of stuff, and they're like, oh no, it's totally true. Pelosi's evil, and she's got a pitchfork, and she's like scooping out things out of a bucket to eat them. Oh my God, it's horrible. She's a cannibal, or whatever. They'll just make up random shit because sure, why not? Just piss off their base. Well, it doesn't work because it's stupid. In fact, back in the day, 4 years ago, the Midwestern Duluth chapter of the Anti-Abortion League told those people to dial it back. On their website, they said, okay, those people from Medical Progress quit contacting us. We won't have anything to do with you when we're Catholic. That's what they said. You need to dial it back because you're crazy. Like, there's nobody selling parts, and there's nobody doing that now. So, and that's actually my late Aunt Roseanne's former like protest site was the MCCL. It's still there. Yeah, she was uber Catholic right wing back then, and she did not like abortion. So that site would know whether that was true or not true. They would have checked immediately. You would think, but there's other ones that yeah, the progress is bullshit. So that's the latest thing. They're trying to make up stuff about alleged baby killer abortions. No, it's like they're not doing that. If you eliminate the impossible, the improbable must therefore be the truth. Or even in this case, confirmation bias. It's a basic law of journalism. You don't like it's a round robin thing. You don't like. It's like Trump saying Fox News is his source of news, but he's the propaganda engine that puts the news there. That's a round robin. You can't have a story exacerbating a story that's about a story. It doesn't work that way. That's not a source. If you have a commentator on Fox, mainly Fox or CNN, go on and say, NBC, go on and say, okay, this happens because my sources say so, and your sources are your own people, that is also confirmation bias. So, in an example, you can't have Geraldo, Judge Jeanine, and Hannity and Tucker all agree that they are sources in a story because they all work for the network that puts out the story. No, the source for a story has to be from elsewhere other than within your own echelon, or it's stupid. That's a classic get it right thing. Yeah. Dwight Bentel, who would live to be 104. Dwight Bentel said, just get it right on the journalism paper, San Spartan Daily. He lived to be 104. Pretty remarkable. And then they immediately moved the department when he died. But yeah, the Spartan Daily, San Jose State, and it's like the get it right. You can't use the Spartan Daily staff for your news story unless it's an editorial on what you did at a news story. Then it's not news; it's editorial. It's opinion. If a bunch of you go to a concert and record a concert, it's an editorial. It's not news. It's opinion. And they're marketing these opinions as news. An opinion is a fact can be an established opinion in these guys' minds, whereas an actual fact, it has to be a testable hypothesis that has at least 2 witnesses that aren't related to you in any way, like don't work for you, aren't related to you in any way. So it'd be like if you wanted to find out about like a news report, you would have to actually physically go out and interview people that are in the actual thing. Otherwise, yeah, it doesn't work. So yeah, you have to go out, find people on the street, interview them about the said story, whether they know it or not. That's how that silly, what's that show? That ridiculous Jesse Waters show. He goes and interviews people that don't know what they're talking about because he doesn't know what he's talking about. He hasn't interviewed me. He would probably cut my footage because I know what I'm talking about. He'd be like, no, don't listen to that guy. Arrgh, I'll just cut it out so make him sound dumb. Yeah, never seen that guy go to the poli-sci department of a college and talk to him. Never seen that happen. Because he's not going to do that. Because he's going to, like, smart people are going to talk back. It's stupid. So yeah, that's how confirmation bias works. Just thought I'd tell you. Yeah, in order to get two sources or more, you don't use your own pundits. That's not how to do that. They should know that. And see, you know what's funny is the comedy shows, they apparently go out and actually get sources. Like Jon Stewart's show would go out and find people that weren't Jon Stewart people and interview them on the street. That's news. That works. I mean, if he uses his own people, it isn't. But that's news. Other commentators that agree with you also isn't news because that's technically wrong too. So if you had Colbert and Stewart and Trevor Noah all on a show being sources, that wouldn't work either because they all kind of know each other. Still confirmation bias. So you can say that. The Young Turks commentators over on the progressive internet channel, biggest one in the world, they can say they can interview each other, but it doesn't mean anything. They have to actually go out and they have to Ada Rolla and Kasparian and Cenk Unger have to go out and actually like ask other people, and they do on occasion. But now they're sheltered indoors, so they can't currently. But yeah, so occasionally they'll bring in some random other person that's from another progressive source, and that is actually journalism. I know Fox people hate that, but that's actually journalism. Yeah, so you check your facts, you put things together, and they weren't on about this, but I'm sure they are now. Yeah, a stupid Facebook thing from a right winger was going on about, of course, making it sound as fantastical as possible. It's like, and they never learn. The Fox people never learn. They spread the story out to Cousin Judy. I had to text the Cousin Judy and say like, nope, that story is false. She just ran with it. They're not, that's how that stuff spreads. It's like, no, they gotta check. No, how could it be false? Oh, it must be the lamestream media. How can the regular media be lamestream media? That doesn't make any sense. The regular media is the regular media. It's not. How can it be lamestream? That's childish and stupid of them. So there you go. There's my. Now I'm not going in there. There's a queue line going out that way and all the way around. Like Disneyland over here at Costco. I'm not going in there. I got gas. Yeah, that's crazy. So they got the queue line, and yeah, it's crazy over here. So I am going back to the car just gonna get gas. I'll go to Five Guys because right over there down the street. So yeah. Of course, I'll have to eat it in the car because, yeah. Anyway, so that's what I'm gonna do. Costco is ridiculous. Incidentally, it's Tuesday. Yes, apparently. Yeah. So it is the middle of the week, fifth week, I guess. The middle of the next week. Yeah. And so, yeah. So apparently, even the diehard Fox people, even my mother, the diehard Fox people are like, oh, they shouldn't open the economy because they haven't cured anything. Like several people have, there's 15 snake oil cures out there, but no cures for the virus. So. Yeah, they can't open anything. It would just happen like China did, and it would just be like, it would just continue because they didn't cure anything. They just put everybody indoors and quarantined them for like 5 weeks. No, they have to actually cure it. And that doesn't mean giving them like made up stock option bug spray, but rather, or parasite spray or whatever. It means actually going after the virus and curing it, which they haven't done. So yeah, no, they can't open the economy yet. No, this is on them. And now they're like complaining that the, now they're complaining that the other people are, the reporter people, they're complaining about the reporter people calling them on rightfully so, on the fact that in early January they knew that there was going to be a COVID-19 outbreak and did nothing. And then there's like, no, that reporter's just liberal, lamestream media. Oh, they went after all these reporters, and it's like, no, they're just telling you the facts. That's what happened. So yeah, they want to deny that. But no, they want to cover it up or deny it. They can't cover it up because unlike the Watergate, it's really, really obvious. You can't even call it COVID Gate because they should call it COVID Gate. I don't think he would get it though. I think Trump would be like, what? Of course, if he bankrupts the economy, it's what he did with the casino. So there you go. They were playing tennis out here for 3 weeks out of the 5 weeks. Now this week, last week and this week, they're not playing tennis. Maybe they got the virus. Yeah. Wednesday. It's Jim Crow. There it is. There he is right there. Actually, I was just thinking something else. It's like, if it weren't for the trade with Mexico and China and all those other countries, we wouldn't be able to make the products that have kept everyone going for 5 weeks, just saying. And if they closed off the borders and had more trade wars, that also would have been bad, and it would have just stifled the economy even more. So, yeah, no trade wars. Let's stop talking about border fences from now on. No more border fences. Thursday, 16th of April. Thursday. Ooh, I still look like the evil dentist because I played the evil dentist in high school at Little Shop of Horrors play. And Tim Nielsen was the patient. That was pretty funny. But dentist never ever be. Yeah, the Fox people are claiming the stimulus package is going to the illegal immigrants, of course, which is not, because that would be impossible. And also, the banks have figured out a way to screw it because the Treasury Secretary is a Goldman Sachs guy. So he's all like, he put a stipulation in the bill, the stimulus bill, that says the banks get to mess with people's loan from the government. So the banks get to take it if they want it for a credit debt and whatnot. It's messed up. Which is the real reason Pelosi didn't want to do it at first. She read that. She's all like, But then they decided to make up this elaborate story about abortion. It's connected to that of the story. It wasn't about abortion. It was about some stimulus bill thing with, like, it had nothing to do with that. But Fox, of course, went with the most extreme thing they could think of. And Trump wants to reopen the economy. Although, strangely enough, the Fox watchers and the Trump supporters are still under the bizarre delusion that January and February didn't exist and that Trump just didn't know. But he went around saying he did. Well, if he didn't know, it doesn't make any sense because he clearly knew. He just didn't care. He just wanted his stuff to go on. No, he knew. Like, don't go around saying you're going to reopen everything in April. Did that not happen at the beginning of this whole 5-week thing? Did he not say that? He totally said that. Come on. You guys have no memory. Like, as the comedians are joking, what are they Dory the fish? What's going on? Anyway, so this is Thursday. Talking Dory the fish. also, I just thought I would throw in the thing that scientists since Finding Dory have done a report to see whether goldfish and blue tangs actually have memory problems. They don't. It turns out they were just misreading their sort of skitterbrain movements in the fish tanks, as though they didn't remember. But it was more like they were really motivated. They did remember. They were just like ADD or something, but it wasn't memory. So anyway, yeah. Still Thursday. Yeah, that's kind of it. Just thought. So it's I think it's Friday today. Fifth thing. I went to the Target earlier, Friday evening now, and now the Burger King and then Target. And Dan went to the In-N-Out Burger and came back. Now I'm being sent to the Lucky Store to get some macaroni thing, which is not very exciting. But I'm finishing up the 5th episode of Transformers Corrosion War that end on the 6th and 7th, which will be filmed back to back. Yeah. They all are anyway, so yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so that's it. Not much going on. Not really anything going on. Yes, now that the cell phone is kind of charged, this is a quickie. Saturday. As for out here, the president has encouraged the Michiganders to go after the city hall for some reason, and also the World Health Organization doesn't like them because they didn't want to open the country. Because yeah, they haven't cured anything. It's going to be like years down. It's going to be several months down the line before they cure anything. So yeah, and there's no testing. Yeah, there's no testing here. At all. No testing. Nobody knows if they got it or not. Like, yeah. And they still haven't stopped it. It's still all over New York. It just isn't here because we all sheltered indoors immediately for 5 weeks. Probably just waited it out is all that happened here. But if they open everything, then those places that were opened will come here and infect us again. Yeah, so they shouldn't do that. So that's bad. Anyway, that's the end of that one for the 5th week. That's the 5th week. Out. Sunday, week 6. Yeah, nothing to report, just Sunday, week 6. So it's Sunday, yeah. Anyway, so that's it really. This is Tuesday. Tuesday in the 6th week. Tuesday. So, that's a thing from Transformers. But yeah, going on to Transformers 6 and 7. The final 90 minutes of the movie. Final roughly, it'll probably pan out to 2 hours. So yeah, the penultimate episode, number 6, and then Seekers in Space and something Darkness, Revolution Darkness or something. Something like that. So what's going on out here? Well, there are people walking this way, but there's there's still lockdown. Although some of the countries is not locked down because they decided to open them without curing or testing anyone. So Georgia is going to be screwed, along with those other states that decided not to do that. And that's probably what Trump wants. Secretly, he wants the economy to fail because he let a casino fail. He let 5 businesses fail. Why not let the country fail too? He didn't care. He's probably going to stuff all his cash in a truck and leave at the end of his presidency. He's going to sneak away in a big truck. That's what he's going to do. But yeah. and so yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and there's some weird psychologist guy from Yale and Berkeley going on about how it's herd mentality or something, and then he puts himself off as a medical doctor, but he's a psychologist. That's different. And he ironically named himself Dr. Katz with a K, like the Dr. Katz psychologist cartoon character from the 80s. Yeah, because the older folks aren't going to remember that, but my generation's totally going to remember that. They'll be like, wait a second, this guy's a parody. He's not a person. Well, he's a person, but he's playing a character. He's a hypocrite, literally a hypocrite. Literally, the definition of hypocrite is an actor person trying to pretend to be something else. That's literally what hypocrite means. Yeah. He's literally a hypocrite. So don't listen to Dr. Katz. That's ridiculous. Although on location, Katz is with a K. Yes. But no, it was a different show than his. Mine was first. Mine was first. KTS was radio in the 80s when I was a teenager. But yeah, the fatal child star. But I am also an actor. Oh, no. But yes, they don't have any affiliation though. Oh yeah, really. They're gonna say I do. They're gonna be all, no, he's a total liberal affiliation. Oh, and I'll be like, not really. Sensible maybe. Anyway, so yeah, let's not just do that because the economy is that way. Not go back yet. Starve the virus out like they did SARS 2 in 02, no 03. Yeah, it's a SARS virus. One of the other pundits was saying it was like the AIDS. How is it like AIDS? It's a retrovirus that destroys your immune system. It's not like AIDS. It's not even close. Not even the same animal. It would be like saying it was like the flu. It's slightly different. It's different than the flu. It's closer to the flu than it is to. It was like malaria. It's not malaria. It's not the same thing. You can't treat malaria. It would be like, to use an extreme, it would be like a guy, like that gag from the SNL sketch or something. I don't think it was SNL though. I think it was something else. Where this guy comes into the doctors and he's got a knife stuck in his chest. And they're like, they tried everything else but pulling the knife out of his chest. The joke was that like they were so obsessed with what they were doing that they didn't realize the very obvious thing right in front of them. There was a knife stuck in the guy's chest. And it was a Dr. House parody, actually. Which is mostly what most of the Fox doctors are, television doctors. Just like most of the lawyers on Fox are television ones and can't teach law. Just like Dr. Phil is not able to practice psychology in the state of California, but can go on a TV show and say that he's Dr. Phil. So, among those other things. And that's probably the reason we don't want to... We do want Oprah for president, but we don't necessarily, because what if we get Dr. Phil as the Surgeon General? Ooh, that'd be bad. Well, it can't be any worse than the EPA guy that Trump had nominated this time. Those people were amused as they walked by about saying Trump's going to put everything in a truck and drive away. They laughed. That's probably what's going to happen, actually. It's not a prediction. That's what he would do, because he's a psychopathic narcissist. Delusions of grandeur. Because he is the president, he can do whatever he wants, or thinks he can. The irony being that come 2021, if he figures out a way to stump the elections, the Speaker of the House becomes president automatically. Not him, not Pence, the Speaker of the House. They don't want that. They just say, oh, that was the liberals' plan all along. Oh, no, it's not. It was some guy on the TV that, one of those actor doctors that work for Fox. They see it all ties back in. That is today. Out on the trail. The phone's dead yesterday. That's today. So yeah, that's today. Tuesday, 6th week. Okay, let me also add that some people, on the behest of Fox News and Trump and their bug spray stuff, mosquito stuff, ordered up the mosquito stuff, took it, and immediately died of a heart attack. So it doesn't work. There you go. They died of a heart attack. Let's say, no, they were going to die of a heart attack anyway. No, it's really bad. You should not use it. No oxychloroquine. Oxychlorophloropin. Don't take that. You'll die. Great. Maybe that's what he wanted, though. Maybe it's that herd mentality Fox was talking about, which he then reiterated on the TV because he watches only Fox News. Ooh. Even Bush was smarter than that. Even Bush was like, "Oh, I know Fox News is my propaganda network. I'm not going to go on there and actually take their advice." Come on. Except for the weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist at all, and they ever found anywhere. It turns out the Syrians had them the whole time. The Iraqis never had them. That's interesting. Or that curveball was lying to them. That's the real corrosion of war. That Wednesday, for the 22nd on the 6th. So it's Wednesday the 22nd, and nothing new in the news to report. I was doing Corrosion War that end, a lot of book 6, and I did a little bit of beginning of 7, so it is back to back. So because there needed to be a scene in part 7 that was leading off from 6, space opera. Anyway, so we got nothing else. Of course, they're airing more of the, they're spinning on Fox more of the actual medical people saying Trump was wrong and all that, and they're spinning it so it looks like they're all liberal plants, but they're obviously not. So if the GOP is dumb enough to reelect that guy in 2021, they should just close the GOP and just stop, because they should be done. Everyone should vote them out of office. That goes for everybody that sides with Trump. They should just vote him out of office. Just maybe and be done with it, because they knew what they were getting. They knew what they were getting. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Still in quarantine. Yeah, technically. So it is Thursday, 23rd, I think. Thursday. Yeah. It's Thursday, and so basically all those the protests in the swing states about being locked indoors apparently were organized by right-wing extremists within the campaign party of Donald Trump. They apparently organized the protests in order to cause dissension, so that people would get mad and want to leave. They got caught. The New York Times caught them, as well as other outlets, because everything is instantaneous and everyone's sheltered indoors. So, they got caught red-handed, kind of like they did in 2016, except they got elected after 2016. They were just copying the Occupy Wall Street people, which is in reverse, really, if you think about it. They were sheltered in Occupy Wall Street in reverse. See, because they were all hunkering down in that. But yeah, it's ridiculous. So still sheltered in. Still, this is a reef walk out here. That's it, really. That's it on the politics side of this talking pointless story. It is pointless. Yeah. There you go. They got caught. So as I was walking along here, thinking of Star Trek and other things, I was thinking as well that their protest thing is ultimately self-defeating, because if they manage to convince some of these swing states to open up and they all get COVID-19 because they opened up early, then who are they going to blame but themselves for their dumb protest conspiracy thing? How does that work? They can't blame the liberals because they did it themselves. Yeah, their plan is ridiculous, based on faulty evidence from other random sources. What's their plan exactly? The plan doesn't make sense. It's like a bad plot of an episode of, like, a cheesy ripoff of a ripoff of 24. Or maybe crime scene investigation, or maybe House of Cards. They like ripped off a ripoff of a ripoff of House of Cards. Yeah, and not even the American one, but the earlier British one, because they thought they were watching the other one and they weren't. Yeah, that's their plan. Ridiculous protests. Don't make any sense. Not here. Over there. Dr. Giggles is back. So yes, it is the 24th. It's Friday, nearing the end of week 6, and yes, John is doing a job. Well, he's only worker on the job. I'm in Mark's Cards, or well, his real name is John. You probably know that anyway. Anyway, so yeah, so yeah, everybody's still indoors, and apparently Trump is Trump. Can they use bleach and sanitizer? Can we inject that? He actually said that. Bleach, sanitizer. He actually, like people use bleach to do horrible things to themselves to get attention. Why would, what? That's a bad. No, that's no. No, don't do that. No. Anyway, so from crazy shit that Trump says, that's about it for today. I'm gonna go do the finish up Corrosion and War Without End, the Transformer thing, and yeah, so that's about it. And I shaved last night. It was too much. Anyway. So this is just the close of the last 6 week. I went out, but I came back, and this is just that. I have nothing more to say other than, most of the GOP conservatives are not conservative at all anymore. They're crazy. They're hard right, ridiculous, crazy. Conservative used to mean conservative, like conserving things. It hasn't meant that since the 90s. So now it means the opposite of conserving things. It means anybody that doesn't agree with you, just to make them look stupid, and then say stupid stuff, and then claim that you're lying, or you made it up, or it was a joke. They don't understand humor. Whatever. So but no, the thing about the mainlining, like, detergent and bleach and other stuff is not. Don't do that. That's not a joke. That's messed up. Anyway, so that's the end of 6 weeks. Okay, it's over. So it is Monday, 27th, and in the middle of week 7, the beginning of week 7, and I am near the old Ghost House in the Great Mall, in a weird part. The old Ghost House is back that way. Not that it matters. It's just a hustle. And here we have some debris. So I'm gonna go along here. It does kind of look like a zombie apocalypse over here. Excellent. So here I am walking down a road. I don't have much to say, really. Except that's what this week is. It's week 7. Yeah. Rendering Corrosion of War Without End, the Transformer series, 6 and 7. And they will release back to back. So yeah, anyway, it's the same. They'll release the same week, this week. So yeah. So this bus depot, except for that dead one over there, is fucking dead. This bus depot is dead. There ain't no buses coming in anymore. That's just weird. So I'm gonna have to hoof it. Yep, gonna have to hoof it. Okay, this is McCandless Street, and here's some apartments. And here is a mound built by the ancients. Actually, it's not, but they're gonna think it is. It's a mound of dirt. Gravel. The bus stops at Great Mall are gone, so I'm trying to find the bus that goes this way. I think if I make it to the BART station, I should be able to find one. Yes. Talking pointless. It is the week of the 8th week of the lockdown. I decided that instead of doing reports of the outside, because they're all kind of similar, I would skip all the way until Sunday and just do the week in review. Yeah, so it's kind of like that. But I'm just not there because nobody's there. They're social distancing. So yeah, there was a recent would count as the beginning of week 9 technically, social distancing Mother's Day thing. But yeah, earlier last week there was in the news it reported a million people in the U.S. have the coronavirus. 72,000 have died. That's roughly the population of Milpitas, but Milpitas has not died. Milpitas is a little larger, 76,000 died. Yeah. So the Trump he likes the new some other news station, AON I think it is, sort of a conspiracy station. He likes that one better than Fox, which is fine by me because Fox is annoying. So if he goes to this other fringe station no one's heard of instead of Fox, better for the country that he doesn't do that. But he probably won't. He'll figure that out, that it's not making enough money, so he'll go back to Fox, which unfortunately makes a lot of money spewing nonsense. Anyways, I have conspiracy theories such as COVID-19 was created by the Chinese as a bioweapon, which is silly, which was in the Inquirer before Pete mentioned it, which is where he read it because he has buddies that work for the Inquirer. There's a bunch of ridiculous stuff. It was meat. It was caused by bats in a meat plant in Wuhan, China. It's not man-made. It came from bats that got sick, and then the bats apparently sneezed or whatever on the food and spread everywhere. It seems to mutate, Montana has some of the least cases because there's no one living there. California has somewhere in the middle. New York and Pennsylvania have the most, and then Texas, and then California. And a bunch of other states. The ones that tried to open early, like Michigan and some of those other ones, we kind of got out, so that didn't work too well. They did open early. Florida, that didn't work too well. Yes, children can get it. So anyway, that's my talking pointless thing, I guess. Real short. I really don't have much to say about it. Don't have it. So your update. Mark's cards and crew are fine, and we tried to find Jim Buffkin and could not. I don't know anything about Tim currently. The Tim in his prime. We'll be able to do some Transformers pretty soon. This is bizarre. That's pretty much it. That they won't continue to kill off Max's Carta. No.